Okay.
Hi, Carlos. It's very nice to meet you. My name is Haley, and I'm one of the HR managers for the Boston Red Sox. And you've applied for our marketing and game day associate position, which we're delighted that you've been shortlisted for. To get started, can you tell me a bit about yourself, please?
Hey, sure. My name is Carlos. I'm currently a junior at Rutgers University. I'm majoring in public relations. I've always had a strong passion for storytelling, branding, and sports. Over the past year, I have built a list of experiences from developing content through my own digital platform to interning at a PR agency in London. We have supported campaigns for clients like Colesworth, IKEA. I've also worked recently in a campaign with Warner Brothers for a Max show that's coming out later this year, which have helped me develop my strategic thinking and presentation skills. I'm originally from the Dominican Republic. I'm a first generation college student, and I bring a global perspective and a strong belief in how sports can bring people together. And I have seen that reflected in baseball in the Dominican Republic. And I'm excited to bring that energy into the marketing and game day setting with such like the Red Sox.
Brilliant. That sounds really, really super, Carlos, and well done for going to London for a semester. Would like to talk about teamwork
Thank you.
now. So at the Boston Red Sox, you collaborate. We have a marketing team, but you'll also collaborate across the organization as well to bring everything to life. So can you tell me about a time when you worked on a team in a fast-paced project or environment or event, and what was your role in that?
Sure. During my collaboration with Warner Bros., I was part of a student team tasked with pitching a marketing strategy for the new show. I took the lead on the competitive research, helping us understand what made the our campaign stand out in the streaming space. I made sure our team stayed on the same page and that a story flowed through from strategy to creative. We presented our pitch to senior executive, and it was really fulfilling to see our teamwork and preparation come together in a professional environment. And that experience taught me the value of clear communication and mutual respect, especially when working under a deadline.
That's great. Thank you. And that kind of leads me on to my next question around communications and relationship building. So, can you share an experience where your communication skills helped you build a strong relationship with a teammate, a client, maybe your internship supervisor? How do you build those relationship
Yeah, sure.
skills?
Well, I think as point important aspect of building those relationships is getting to know the person in a personal level, not just in the professional setting. So that really transpired in my Warner Bros. Experience and also in my internship at Influence Associates in London, where I always dedicated some time to get to know my colleagues, um, n know which hobbies they like, what sports they like, if they're um what they're more into in a personal life. I think that really strengthens the relationship and the way the teamwork, um is improved. I think that's the best way, honestly.
Yeah, that's great. I completely agree. We're more than just our work. We need to get to know people and build that mutual respect and relationship and the trust as well. I've no doubt that your time in London's very, very busy. So I know you're doing an internship, maybe you're taking some classes, you have your own personal life as well. So can you tell me, how do you balance all of those things, but still make sure that you're meeting your deadlines, you're submitting work that's of a high standard?
Yeah, sure. So I'm a person who's really a perfectionist in a sense, and I'm aware of that. So what I'm trying to always do is to be way ahead of the deadline so I can give um space for this to work on the small details. And the way I try to balance that with my personal life is I try to prioritize the parts of the task that will need more. time, let's say research, if it's a project that is really research heavy, I try to do that right away, get most of the work done so I can have time for my personal life and my mental health. Because at the end of the day, I think if we are in the if our mind and we are in the correct place, that will also benefit the project. So
Yeah,
that's how I try to approach it. I try to prioritize the more heavy part of the task to do it first, and then give myself some space to clear
that's
my
great.
mind and then get back to work.
Great. That's super. And so about the role with the Red Sox, so sometimes things can change at the last minute. Game day operations are exciting, they're fast-paced. Can you give an example of a time where you were asked to take on a task or a role that was outside of your comfort zone, and how did you respond and what was the outcome of that?
Um, well, one example that have struggled that shows that is what recently in my internship in London Influence Associates, I was managing data research for Girlsworth Motorsport, and I was looking for their achievements. I was also drafting media pitches and updating spreadsheets for multiple clients. And that on top of the me working on the classes, it was a lot to manage. So, well, sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah,
I
sure. So
got
it's kind of around adaptability. So is there a time, or can you give an example of a time when you were asked to take on a task or a role that was outside of your comfort zone? Maybe something that you weren't so familiar with.
Yeah, so definitely the Cosworth chats that I've been working recently, since I was not familiar with their history, um I was responsible to summarize for them their whole history from 1965 to 2025. So
Wow.
it was a big task. Also, this week I had to um work with Kia and their media pitches for their new cars that are revealing this year, which is was also challenging because I'm not a big cars guy. I don't have a lot of knowledge when it comes to cars. I just know the brands, but I'm not really into sports cars. So I had to really do my research in the Cosworth test. I really had uh, the core value, really try to dig in of why they try to represent as a brand. So I would say those are two examples where I have to go a little bit beyond and try to educate myself and bring that adaptability that I bring to the works.
That's great, Carlos. Thank you. Those are two great examples. Now, we've had a lot of people that have applied for this role with the Boston Red Sox. I mentioned you've been shortlisted, which is very exciting. But why should we choose you for this role over somebody else?
Well, I bring a unique mix of live experience, creative energy, and a global perspective. Coming from the Dominican Republic, studying in the US and interning abroad has taught me how to adapt, like I said previously, connect across cultures and community purpose and collaboration and deliver campaigns idea to major companies, all that before graduating. So I think beyond my resume, I bring heart. I know how powerful sports, uh, can be for fans, especially those who come from underrepresented communities like we are, and I want to help tell those stories and create memorable game day experiences that go beyond the field.
That's super, Carlos. Thank you. And before we finish up, do you have any questions for me about the role, about the Boston Red Sox as an organization?
Yes. Are there opportunities to contribute ideas for content or game day promotions directly.
Okay. Okay, I won't answer that just now, but do you have any other questions before we finish up?
Yeah, how is success measured for interns in this role? What does a great job look like?
Great. And any other questions?
Yes. What skills do past interns usually gain by the end of this program?
Okay, great. And anything else?
No, okay.
Great. Well done, Carlos. That's your interview over. How are you feeling?
Um, Nervous.
No, you should feel great. You interviewed so well. Honestly, I've interviewed
Really?
hundreds of
Thank you.
students. You did a
I usually get
fantastic job.
nerve.
Nerves are
Really?
good. Nerves are good, right? Nerves tell us that we care, we want to do a good job. You know, like you can turn nerves into enthusiasm. Like I absolutely could feel your enthusiasm. And maybe in a way your nerves were transferred into that enthusiasm. Honestly, you did such a great job. Like your answers were brilliant. The opening question, tell me a little bit about yourself. You'll probably always be asked this type of question. It could be, tell me a bit about yourself, tell me about your career to date. Why do you think you're a good fit for this role? Really, in that they want to know about you, who you are, what you've studied, what you're interested in. And you told me loads in that answer, which was brilliant. I got your name, your major, you have a passion for storytelling and sports. You talked about your experience in London. So many students forget to mention that. Like that is a really unique thing that you have that, as we said, so few students actually have. But you mentioned it really nicely. I love the name dropping with Warner Brothers, IKEA, all these big brands. That's amazing that you got to work on these things. You also told me that you're originally from the Dominican Republic, you're a first generation student. Like it was a really nice personal introduction to who you are and all very relevant to the role and what you can bring to the job. The internet cut in and out a little bit, so you might see that when we watch back. But that's okay. It could be on my end, I'm not sure, but I got loads of what you said, and I think that your answers came across really, really well. So you were really good at introducing, like setting the scene. There you are as a good storyteller, setting the scene. What were your specific tasks? And then tying all that up so I get a full picture of the response that you're giving. The question about teamwork, maybe have another think about that for a future job interview because teamwork is so important and it's in every job. Even if you are a solo entrepreneur, you still have to work with people in some way, shape, or form. So think of maybe a really specific experience, like you mentioned about the marketing team strategy, and you worked as a group and you led that group. So while the content and the context was really strong, talk a little bit more about how you made sure the team stayed on track. Did you organize check-ins? Did you have like a shared group Teams page or something like that? But in general, the answer was good. So just think about how you can be a little bit more specific. Um, you often referenced your internship at Influence Associates in London, which is really good. You mentioned it and said the whole sentence in your answers, which is great. So as somebody interviewing you, I'm reminded that you have this really great experience in London with this company. So that was really nice repetition. Um, but yeah, I think you did a great job in your interview. And like even in the piece about why should we choose you for the role, like again, you brought in your like a really great description of intercultural competence and what it is to work in a different country, be from a different place, and to work with different people and understand the creative energy and the global perspective that you can bring to it. And I think you did a great job of really naturally talking about that. And then you talked about like your passion as well and linked it to the job.
Mhm.
Like it's beyond the resume. You want to bring the heart, the passion that the fans have. You want to help tell those stories. That was great. That was really, really great.
Yes.
And there was something else you talked about mental health and your personal life, and I couldn't agree more. It's so important. Like you'll probably work for the rest of your life, but making sure that
Yeah.
you have that balance and making time for yourself. If you're in a good headspace, that will translate into your work, into your personal life. and it's so important. And I know the way that things are done in the US can be very fast-paced. It can be
Mm.
very demanding. So I hope from London you've seen maybe a different way of working and might be able to bring some of that back with you, to find that
Yeah,
balance
that have
because life
definitely
is
impacted the
busy.
way I see things, how different the
Yeah,
workspace is here and how everybody can have a get a chance to disconnect from work and be
yeah,
sent and work on their personal life and enjoy themselves. That has really like
absolutely.
brought my yes, very different from the US.
Very different. And even being in the environment where, like, if you do get a role, this role or a role like this, working with someone like the Boston Red Sox, like, the work is bringing joy to people's lives. Like people are going to the games and they're enjoying that with their families, with their friends. That's nice to be part of that experience for people as well. And you had three questions, which was great. I was so pleased. It shows that you're interested in the role, you understand the job, and you're interested in the company as well. So that was really, really good. So overall, really well done. That was a great interview,
Thank
Carlos.
you.
Yeah, really well done. And I have your resume and your cover letter here. Um,
Yeah.
so nice resume, looks really good. It's clear. Do you have a LinkedIn?
Yes, I
You
do.
do. Add your LinkedIn. So if it's not up to date, it'll never be fully up to date because you're always learning, growing, doing new things. Try and get it up to date over the summer. Personalize the URL and add it to your resume and hyperlink it like you've done with your web link as well, which also is really good. You used your
Okay.
Rutgers email. As you come towards graduation, you might change that to a personal email. So you're not using your university one all the time. Your experience looks really good. Your coursework is all relevant. Skills and interest section looks good. I would just say take care with spacing because your skills and interest just move to the next page. Whereas if you just played with your
Well, yeah,
margins,
that was a weird well, the actual document is
yeah.
one page, but when I submitted to Canva for some reason it made it two page, making the skill interest like on top of the second one.
Do
But
you know
it's
why
really
that
one page
happened?
document.
So our
Yeah.
pages are different in the US and in Europe. So we have what's called an
Really?
A4 page. Yeah. So because I worked with American students in Dublin, and this was something that came up a lot when they printed their assignments. You have a different
What?
standard page size than we have. Yeah. So that's probably why that happened. So for
Wow,
me, yeah.
that's I never thought of that. That's
Yeah. So there you go
mind
again, like
blowing.
cultural things that are they're small. I mean, it's a page
Yeah,
when you
it's the
print it
small
out.
things, really.
Yeah, it's the small
That's
things. So
incredible.
again, like so many, so now you know that's why that happened. So if you are like if you're applying for a job maybe that is in Europe or in the UK, maybe just save it as an A4 page so that it suits what they're going to
Mm,
see. It's not the biggest deal, but it's just something you might want to consider. So that's why that
yes.
happened. Your cover letter was good. It was enthusiastic. It was positive. It was personalized to the job that you were applying for. You did mention your internship in London, which is great. The only thing is, I don't think you told us what usually in the opening section, you detail where you're studying and what you're studying. So you might want to get that up a little bit
Mm,
higher, but definitely mention London. That's great. And there was really nice links to the job that you were applying for. And what you can do to just pull it all together, you can add a digital signature to your cover letter and it just makes it look really good, nice
I
and
forgot.
polished. And you can
Yes.
do that PDF editor. If you don't have that, just draw it on a blank page and upload it. And when you PDF everything, it looks super polished and really good.
Back
But
to the
otherwise,
small things. Yeah,
the little things, the little details, yeah, could it
sure.
could it could be a really nice thing to do. But overall, Carlos, really, really well done. You should be really proud of
Thank
everything
you.
you've achieved, and you did a great interview as well. So, yeah, enjoy the rest of your time in London.
Thank you. One question. How will
Yeah.
the recording be available?
Good question. So I'll be able to send you the recording. It'll be later on today by the time it's processed. And I'll send it to you as a WeTransfer file. So it's not spam when you see that coming through WeTransfer. It's just the software I'll use to send it because it'll be a larger recording that I can't
Yeah,
attach.
yeah, yeah. I have used it before. So you
Yeah,
will send
so
it
it'll come as
via
that.
email, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So keep an eye out for that
Perfect.
and then you can do your reflection. Okay.
Okay, perfect.
Great. Thanks, Carlos. Enjoy the rest of your time in
Thank you,
London.
Haley. Have a good one. Enjoy the rest of
You
your
too.
day. Bye.
Thanks so much. Bye bye.